Hey, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. What's up? How you doing, buddy?
Sing it to him. He likes that.
Don't, or I'll leave.
What? Sing it?
No.
Happy birthday.
Dude.
Well, how's life in Yayland?
We could talk about that. I see you're getting in heat. You don't want to talk about it, right?
I'll talk about anything you want. I'm good.
So, you're taking the WL. They're saying in my chat that you're taking the WL community head on.
Like 2021 Destiny moving into 2022 Destiny. Like, I feel like I noticed that you made some big changes in like intellectualism, big progress in how you intellectually engage with topics. You entertained a lot more doubt. You seem to be a lot more open-minded about more topics. You treated people in discussions and debates from a perspective where you work really, really hard to understand them and like try to help them make the best argument possible and like things like that. And how that was emblematic of like a maturation and like a big turn that you made as a person as compared to the content from the years prior where you were sort of more dogmatic and more shouty and more aggressive and combative.
I'm trying to think of what spurred that change on. I don't know. Probably just starting to communicate more with right-wingers, I think. So Fuentes and Southern probably helped with that.
I really want to dig into this mushrooms thing because I really recall you saying that it like offered you some insights that carried it with you. Do you think that this had anything to do with this change, or are these completely
No, I don't think
different
so. That's the mushroom thing is a completely different like perspective on like existence and shit. Not much to do with like my political journey or anything like that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Booksmart's helped a bit too. That's true. I gotta give him props.
Do you have a role model? Is there like a model person that you strive to sort of?
No, that might be something I change in the future because I'm pretty exceptional there, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But I don't really look up to anybody or model myself off of anybody. But that might be like a vestige of like my arrogant teenage years. I'm not sure. I just don't know many people that I like. There's not very many people in the political world that I respect that I want to like. Oh, I really want to be like this guy.
Doesn't have to be in the political world.
Yeah, Sean Carroll is cool. But he's not. That's not like somebody that I try to like model my life after. I don't try to be like him. I'm way more aggressive than he is personality-wise.
Would you say that there are like pieces of people that you admire that you kind of like wish to sort of adopt into yourself, or does that happen?
Yeah, of course. I always try to like take pieces from people that I talk to. Yeah, that's for sure. So like from Lauren, like trying to take the idea of like working on larger projects, I think is important. From Fuentes, the idea of seeing yourself as kind of like a political figurehead and being like somebody that can put together like a coherent worldview for your followers, I think was important. For Sneako, I think that the trying to fix it on like life-related stuff and the specific approach that he had to prepared content. If I ever do that character video, like that stuff that I want to like kind of bite from him a little bit. Yeah, there's always, when you encounter successful people, there's usually reasons why they're successful, and it's always good to see if you can kind of like steal snippets of what they do and try to incorporate that into what you are. Damn.
I think at some point, like you come to realize, you know, when you're young, old people always tell you the world is going to be yours when you grow up, right? Like the Simba moment. At some point you recognize like, holy shit, I've kind of inherited the world and I can fill these roles. Like when we were young, it was probably people like Sam Harris and Christopher Hitchens and like, you know, people like Thunderfoot. I think you've mentioned that you used to watch these people or admire these people. And then you sort of become people who fill those roles. In your case, this is especially true.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the Fuentes example, it's like one of the things that makes it really impressive is that he's sort of seen that and accepted this and pursued it from a really, really young age. And he's demonstrated that you can inherit like political influence and be a mover and shaker in the world, even from a very young age.
Wait, for levels who? Did you say for Fuentes?
I think Fuentes demonstrates how young you can be and do these things.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked, I can't believe you said Thunderfoot alongside like Christopher Hitchens and like Dawkins or whatever else you just said. I think that like Thunderfoot's in a different league.
I mean, like it's like the same style. He was like one of the eight, like they would consider themselves inspired by like the Four Horsemen of Atheism or whatever even if they didn't quite like live up to that same level.
They were part of the same YouTube algorithm for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Skeptic Bros. Those were good times.
Oh, this is a good question from chat. During like the time of being rhetorically effective, did you find it like emotionally exhausting? Did you find yourself wanting to snap back to quipping and like sort of being more aggressive?
Yeah, actually, here's something I realized recently. I do need credit for the good things that I do. It's actually way more important to me than I realized. I had figured this out when I played Rust a long time ago, but I didn't apply this to the rest of my life. Have you ever played Rust before?
Yeah.
When you play Rust, I think personally, the best size group to play with is around 5 to 6 people. It's enough to do base building. It's enough to differentiate some tasks. It's enough to do some cool fucking raids. 5 to 6 people is like the best. That's like the best.
A tribe.
Yeah, group of people to have to be playing Rust with, in my opinion. But when I would try to play with small gangs, I can't do it on stream. I'm gonna get like dogpiled like immediately. Like I remember trying to play with 2 or 3 friends a few times on stream on different servers, and I would get like zerged by like 40 people. Like in like I would be getting rocket raided in like 45 minutes. It was like insane. And I'm like, okay. So something that I realized for Rust is if I'm gonna take all the negative drawbacks of being a big streamer, then I need the positives of being a big streamer. I'm gonna zerg. And people are gonna make fun of me. They're like, oh, look at you roll with a crew of 30 people. And it's like, yeah, that's because I get attacked by crews of 30 people. If I'm gonna take all the negative drawbacks to being a streamer, then I'm gonna need to have all of the positives of being a streamer, because why the fuck would I take the drawbacks and not the positives? So when it comes to like online shit, for a long time I was like, do I really need credit for anything? Nah, I don't care. I'm kind of humble. It feels cringy to like beg for credit. Like I figure my record will speak for itself. I don't care. But then I noticed more and more that's not really good going forward, because it reflects poorly on me if I don't fight for my recognition in things positively, because you better fucking believe I get recognition for every single thing negatively. And that's not good. That's why I switched up my tactics, and I started to tell people, I started to copy the TSA thing. If you see something, say something. Because I can't let people destroy my reputation online and throw every esoteric, random fucking clip at me for the past 10 years and then not get credit for any of the good things I do. Because it leaves a really skewed perception of me online. So that's something in the future I realize I have to fight for proper recognition for the positive things I do, because I sure as fuck get recognition for every bad thing I do.
Will you use them in conversations?
Do what?
Like, I think it is good that you're gonna try to like fight for your recognition and stuff like that. But like in the last like encounter that you had in the last few hours with this podcast or whatever, I don't know who you were debating earlier over the clips and like bringing up the like chess N-word clip or whatever. It's like, would that be a time where you'd shoehorn into a conversation like, okay, but give me credit for like XYZ? Or
no, because I still have to manage like optics on it as well, which is difficult. But I've kind of like, unfortunately, I've lost all those battles in terms of getting credit for things. Like honest to God, like, and it sounds cringy to say it, but like it's annoying because it always sounds cringy to give yourself credit, but like people will attack you for everything. Like I probably should get credit for being almost solo, like cleaning up a lot of like the racism and transphobia and shit on Twitch. Like I was doing this shit way before there were panels of fucking dear ladies and shit talking about safety and trust council and all that cringy fucking shit on Twitch. I was doing this shit way before anybody else. And I was doing this like when whole fucking communities would like call me names and call me SJW warrior, blah, 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 all this shit on Twitch. I was the only person talking about all this shit on the Austin show. It wasn't the Austin show back then, it was the Raj Royale on fucking Trainwreck's podcast. And it's super fucking cringe that I had to like stand alone against like the fucking world doing that shit. And now you've got these like soft snowflake fucking losers like Hassan coming in and pretending like they did it all on their own.
I paved it on my own because I thought like, this is a concept that I think is cool, gaming. This is a concept that I think you can marry with gaming, political commentary. I paved it on my own, paved it on my own.
I paved it on my own.
Shout out to Destiny, by the way.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say, yeah.
Oh, you know of him? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But when I watched that video, I was like, oh, that's cool. So we have like somebody in the gaming community who's actually pushing back.
Hell yes, that's actually Destiny's the reason why I know about Trihex as well. If Destiny was my roommate, I'd get him laid all the time. I was like, all right, whatever. Well, I don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything. I have no option. I'm in the next 11 days. So much so that, like, Steven was DMing me on Discord and saying, hey, you know what? If you don't have a place to live, buddy, like, you can come stay with me. It's okay. What a good guy. Destiny is a great guy. Oh, yeah, watch out. He gets real rowdy with that. Here, for all of you guys is the... Here, Fish and Destiny playing.
Okay, wait. Hey, listen. I love you.
What?
I told a friend that I would play a game with him, and then I have to get ready for that Skunk podcast shit. Listen, don't worry. You're gonna get all my viewers who want to watch you watch it are gonna go to your stream.
Okay. I mean, no, it's fine. I wanted to watch it with you, but it's cool, dude. Friendship is just dead, I guess. Oh, Speedo McGee's your fan that gave me 200 subs so far. No, you're coming.
I thought this was like a convention. I thought this was like the Young Turks like office Christmas
it's
party.
A family party. I told you. And
oh, why the f would I go to your family party?
I don't know what the f are you gonna do. Sit around and eat Chinese food by yourself while crying? People in the chat are like, that sounds like Destiny for sure, dude. Your fan base is wild, dude. All right, you want to go out tonight, dude? What's going on? What happened?
Why are you gonna just stiff him like that, dude? That was rude as.
Because they didn't want you to be here. That's why.
Oh, you're like standing up for me.
Solidarity.
It's not gonna hurt my feeling, brother.
No, it's fine.
No, why the f would I help anyone else? You're the only person I've ever done that for. You better feel special.
Oh wow, I do, dude.
Well, I mean, I'm super cute, but you're cuter. Don't worry. In a different way.
I paved it on my own.
When these people would have legitimately killed themselves if they had to try to talk to some of the crowds, as hostile as people were towards that messaging back then. That's really annoying. But I kind of like, yeah, I basically like lost that battle because I didn't fight for credit back when I should have, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I added that note in the manifesto that you brought me in on. Like, why I don't understand why you don't fight for yourself. Like, you were a pioneer in the things that they're claiming that you're perpetrating. You're a pioneer in fighting.
Yeah, I know. I
against,
just feel you have to understand. It feels fucking cringy, especially like you've seen that Khaleesi picture, right?
I haven't.
The one where she's being. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
No, I haven't. No, I don't give a fuck about medieval fantasy.
Okay.
Shit.
There's just like there's a scene where she's being like this white woman is being held up by like 1,000 black slaves who are like all being freed by her basically, and that's kind of what it feels like sometimes when I'm online and I'm like, yeah, I fight for black issues and trans people. It's like I don't want that. Like that characterization is weird, but I mean like I guess to some extent that's kind of what I have to push for. But
it's a tough line to cross because like for the same reason that like when people try to push their content onto Twitter, it's just not very popular. Everybody knows what it looks like when somebody's trying to sell you something, and anytime you're like trying to talk yourself up, it just looks bad, and everybody kind of groans. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, you do deserve recognition for good things that you do. So like, how do you really just have to rely on your community to fight on your behalf?
Yeah, that's where the say something or see something, say something came from, that mentality, which I think has actually been going exceedingly well. I approve of what everybody's been doing there. So.
Okay, I wanted to talk a little more about, assuming the influence that you can have in the world. Mm-hmm. I feel like when I first got into your content, when people asked you if you wanted to be more of a political activist, you were vehemently opposed to the idea that you would or could be one. You said that you just like to fight, or that you just thought having these conversations was really interesting. But it seems like over the past year or two, especially with these canvassing efforts, you have sort of, you were reluctant at first, but you've sort of grown into this idea of being a real political influencer. Mm-hmm. Or like having influence in the world. Can you tell me about what changed your mind? Or
there's two huge things. One, in terms of, there are a lot of conversations I had with a friend a long time ago about like the things that people are capable of, and that like I am capable of doing quite a bit of good. So it seems kind of like a bit of a waste to not pursue that and to just kind of like play games all day and do nothing like politically worthy because I just want to argue with people. That seems kind of sad. That's where kind of the drive for that media company, if I ever finish Factorio, where hopefully I'll push in that direction. And then a second thing was there's a fucking name for this, and it's funny because I've known about this theory for a long time, but I never believed in it. But I think I do now. I think that history actually I think does rest on the shoulders of a few key individuals that push things in certain directions. And I think that if what? Oh, is it great man theory? We'll say great person theory, okay, to be more 2022 friendly. But like, I think there's an argument to be made that like without Einstein, it might have been another 20 or 30 or 40 years before people tried to figure out gravity more. That without Martin Luther King, maybe it's the Civil Rights Act of 1988 or 2002 instead of 1964. That like there might be like certain figures like in history that like are in the right place at the right time and they move like Donald Trump probably caused like real movable changes in people, or Kanye West are in ways that like wouldn't have happened otherwise. So if I'm to believe that like I'm in a unique position to help people and do things, and if like solo figures in history are capable of doing that, then for me to sit by and do nothing while other people do seems pretty sad. It seems kind of like a waste, I guess. Sorry, that's where that drive to.
No. Go on. If you have any more to say, because I'm gonna have questions.
Yeah, go knock yourself out.
Okay. There are a couple things I'm curious about here, or maybe I have some predictions, or I suspect is the case, and I want some clarification. The first is I suspect that you have, over the past 10 years, had like a fortunate life. You've been very, very successful. you've been, wealthier than the average bear, and you've afforded yourself, some more of the worldly pleasures than the average person or something like that. Has a period of time where you've sort of reflected on that while also engaging in these political topics been at all responsible for taking on this new perspective or feeling like a new sense of obligation to be like one of these people that pushes and moves things? Have you looked back at a period of time and thought, man, I could have done that with it. Like, it's been 4 years. These 4 years came and went. Here's what I could have done with that. And here's what I don't want to go without over the next 4.
No, not really. I think it's mainly come from challenging conversations with other people that have pushed me on these things. That's why it's so important for me to have like people that like give me like pushback in life. Even if I sound dismissive on stream, I always tell people like I do appreciate it, because it does like it'll sit and coalesce into some gelatinous thing in my brain after a while. It just depends.
I guess I'm curious where the sense of obligation comes from. Where you say, if I can be one of those people, there's some obligation. Is it because you don't want to feel regret in the future? Is it because you feel some obligation to the world and that you're doing the world a disservice by not attempting to fill that role if you're capable of it?
I think I started to see, so at a really fundamental level, my ethical system, it rests on this idea that I want to like maximize the world for myself. And out of this kind of like understanding of what that means, you end up building these communities because you realize that people have these synergistic effects on well-beings for each other, that like if one person together can make 10 units of happiness, 2 people together can make 50 units, and 100 people can make 1,000,000 units, right? That it scales up the more people you have. But that if society is to move forward, and if we all are like synergizing with each other to create a better world, there are going to be people within that synergistic effect that can apply their skills in a more kind of like focused way. So like if you've got a community of 100 people, the guy with the aptitude for piano playing should probably play piano. The guy with the aptitude for medicine should probably, do medicine. That like different people have an aptitude to kind of like push forward different things. Because you have the capability to do it. And then when it comes to like political ideologies or ideologies that you would hope that other people would adopt, if you're uniquely positioned to like amplify those ideas or put them out in the world, and you want those ideas to resonate with other people, and you want other people to like exhibit those like ideas, then why wouldn't you do that? Does that make sense? It all seems to naturally build out to like, okay, well, I'm a person, I have capabilities, I believe that people should do what they can to improve the lives of other people around them. I have the capability of pushing these political ideas that I think are important, that would improve everybody's lives, and if I've got the means to do so, like, why would I not? It seems like there must be some obligation. If I have any obligation at all, it seems like I should have an obligation to that, basically.
Well, you say, why would you not? But for so many years you didn't. So like, what was the shift? Was it really just talking to like Fuentes and Lauren and like some of these more conservative figures over the last year?
I don't know. It was something clicked in my head about not just being maybe it's dealing with all the authoritarians, unironically, actually, that moved me off of like there's a hyper liberal individual mindset that I still like. But I think that only works if people like see themselves as hyper liberals in the context of the communities that they're in.
What do you mean by that?
Like I don't think you can exist as an individual, right? Like you're necessarily part of some community that you are taking from and giving to, and I think those only work if you give as much as you can, if you're taking what you can.
I agree with you, but I think people are trying to like assert themselves individually, and this is why you see like I don't know, people putting like very niche political like labels in their bio, or like some people listing like their mental afflictions and stuff like that, like trying to find a way to set themselves apart from people.
Wait, so how did that?
I don't know, because you're saying that like people kind of exist as like a collective with like you everyone fits into some sort of identity, some sort of camp or whatever, based off their political leanings for the most part. And I think people understand that, but they try to resist it by finding additional like labels and tags that they can ascribe to themselves that separate themselves even further from everybody else. That's why there's this like endless virtue signaling on social media, because if you're not doing
maybe
that,
that's
then
like
you're just gonna fade into the crowd.
Sure, I guess that's like a different kind of thing, but yeah, I mean, some people do that. It's cringe, but.
I guess I wanted to touch back earlier when you talked about if everybody's filling the roles that they're best suited for, then it kind of enhances everybody's life collectively and individually as well, because other people are filling those roles. I guess the question that I have is, doesn't that at some point approach an impasse where, for example, maybe the guy best suited to play piano doesn't have any interest in playing piano, and pursuing that, as a living is actually kind of torturous to him. What would be, how would you interpret that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to find like a reasonable line, right? Like if there's some guy who fucking hates then doing a particular thing, like I don't think you should be obligated to like torture yourself for it. But like if it's something that is like easily within your means, then I think you should go for it if you can.
So in the case of you being sort of a thought leader, which seems like something that you eschewed for a long time and that you just simply wanted to be someone who has these discussions, did there just come a point where your interest in seeing this philosophy fulfilled and living it just superseded the, I guess the, what would you call it? The reluctance to not do something that you weren't internally driven to do? It seems like there was a turn. You either became more interested in like assuming the role of a thought leader, or your sort of drive to live this philosophy of everybody suiting their best role, or like filling the role they're best suited for, just grew beyond your sort of internal unwillingness to be a thought leader or something like that, or engage in these, really move and shake these topics or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I had somebody that I respected personally push me really hard on like what am I capable of, and then what am I doing, and if there's like a massive difference in that, is that really something that I feel good about? And I think that the answer to that is probably no. So if I'm capable of doing more, then I probably should. And then there's a whole bunch of reasons, like community-driven reasons or like societal-driven reasons, why it would make sense to pursue those things. Sorry, did that make any sense?
Yeah. Somebody talked you into it. That's what I'm hearing.
A little bit, but these are also like all kind of like slow things that change like over time and stuff too. It's never like one day
Overnight
this
thing.
clicked. Yeah, or it kind of is like one day it clicks, but like it's after like a lot of thought usually. Yeah.
Was the Politics is for Power book pretty influential in your life?
Yeah, that was actually a pretty cute book. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Did you read that before or after you did the first canvassing event?
Don't remember.
I would assume before, but I feel like it was after, actually.
It was before, because Doug talked about it on stream.
Yeah, I remember that.
Base Doug. Damn, I wanted to get him back, but Christian would have killed me. It would have been funny to bring him in, just for like a speech or something.
You really are your own worst enemy sometimes.
It would have been fucking hilarious. Oh shit.
I think this awakening is kind of like how
Hitler
I don't know if
about?
yes, that's precisely what I was going to say. But moving on from that, it's like the person who's best suited to be the president would never even consider running for president because they're like too humble. You know?
Man, I don't know if I believe that. That's some Harry Potter shit. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That like, there's a small nugget of truth to that, right? It actually applies really hardcore to internet moderation, as cringy as that is. Like the people that most want to be fucking internet moderators are usually the ones most prone to abuse the power. But like as much as like the movie narratives are cool, I don't think that people that aren't suited to leadership should be in leadership roles. Like leadership is a very particular skill, and I don't think that there needs to be just like some random humble person that's like, oh my god, like I can do this. Like it's something you have to be like pretty well prepared for to do successfully, in my opinion.
I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of different ways people can be effective leaders, and I think there are particular archetypes and character traits that come to mind, like being very extroverted or assertive or confident. But I think there's a lot to be said about somebody who could lead, and who's not necessarily those things, who kind of like bucks the expectation by being kind of introverted, by being more reserved and not soft spoken, but listens more than they speak almost.
Maybe. I don't think so.
I think leadership comes easier to some people with certain traits like extroversion, but like it's definitely something that you can also learn if you have other assets that like kind of compensate. Like if you're a fast learner or you're good at observing and learning from your mistakes, I think those people make better leaders than just someone that's extroverted.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know how much you guys put any stock in MBTI things, but I wonder if we were to look up like different, like the past, like maybe like 10 presidents or like famous leaders or even dictators, if they were like introverted or extroverted. There's other ways to do that metric. I know the MBTI, but the one doesn't really have, I don't think it has any scientific evidence to back it up. It's basically astrology, but for some heads.
Yeah, I feel like the extroversion is going to be way more successful there in a leadership role.
I feel like if I were to look it up, a lot of like some of the most authoritarian leaders were actually introverts.
You think so?
Hell yeah, I bet Hitler was like an INTJ, which is what I am.
Wow.
Wouldn't be surprised.
What about Jean-Luc McMotherfucking Picard?
Well, see, that's fiction, so.
It is fiction, but he still inspires confidence and like he's charismatic in a way, despite being sort of kind of dry and like you feel like if you were on this bridge of the Star Trek Enterprise, you'd fucking listen to what he had to say, despite the fact that he's like not really extroverted. Like I feel like
you don't think he's extroverted?
Absolutely not. No.
He kind of had a quiet dignity about him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Spock for sure. I can remember like Spock, and I know Spock is clearly supposed to be introverted. I think Picard is extroverted.
Spock is supposed to be like autism-verted. Okay, that guy's.
I'll tell you what. There was like an army like first sergeant that I had to report to when I was in the military, and he was like a soft, quiet, soft-spoken grandpa. And part of what made him like a really effective leader is that you didn't want to let him down because he was like such a fucking sweet guy. And there were a couple times that he had to like dress somebody down, and he was so gentle about it. They were like, he was a Mormon dude, and there were like no swear words, but he was like, it's the first time you ever saw him furrow his brow, and he was super serious. And like this just had a cascading effect, and everybody started picking up slack that they weren't before because they like that was part of it. It's just like, I don't want to let this guy down. And I would say he was pretty introverted. He was pretty quiet.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Wicked here. I think like people underestimate or people don't like really understand what leadership is. But I think the best leaders are the people that like inspire the individuals below them to.
Yeah, and command respect. But maybe we're just disagreeing on what introverted means. Like being quiet doesn't mean you're introverted. Like Bob Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think I would consider like his demeanor like introverted. He's just like quieter. But I might just have a really negative impression of what introverted means. I think like shyness I would consider like a negative personality trait that people should get rid of. But a lot of people get really triggered when I say that. So.
Yeah, I don't think introverted is just synonymous with being quiet. I think that's usually one of many traits like associated with that word. But aren't you an introvert?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I gotta be honest, I don't even like these concepts of introversion and extroversion. I don't know if they mean much to me or how we can measure them.
I think they're like interesting to know about yourself because that helps you adapt to the world. Like if I learned I'm introverted, so like obviously I worked on being able to network and talk to people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like pushing myself, like being conscientious of my natural habits and then adapting them to be more optimal, right? That's kind of like what I was talking about earlier.
I just wonder if there aren't more useful ways of measuring this. Like, what if it's just a matter of, are you comfortable in this group of people versus that or something? I guess then you would say extroversion is like a penchant for being more comfortable in like more situations where most people would be uncomfortable or something. I don't know.
Not sure. Like when I think, I guess, I don't know. Like when I'm thinking introverted, like you mentioned, like you don't think Bob Ross is an introvert, but Bob Ross kind of reminds me of like Mr. Rogers, and I feel like Mr. Rogers is an introvert.
I wouldn't say so at all.
Of people.
But I think maybe
No?
we just have different, feelings of like what introverted or extroverted is. I have a very negative, like when I think of extroverted, I think of like, or I'm sorry, when I think of introverted, I think of like shy, not confident. Like Mr. Rogers was good at public speaking. He could speak like very clearly, can communicate like with good precision.
You think timid and meek?
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of introverted, timid and meek. Yeah.
I think that's a bad perspective on introversion. I think it's introversion and extroversion mostly has to do with where you get your energy from.
Yeah, I've heard this. This is like the book thing that some people use, but I don't think anybody actually uses it that way.
Yeah,
because then in that case, technically, by that definition, like introversion and extroversion has absolutely nothing to do with how you behave. It literally just is your response to hanging out with people or being around people, right?
Yeah, and that.
Yeah, at most I think I can tell you about like what you sort of enjoy. Like if you know this person is introverted, then you would predict more consistently not to like bother this person because they're more likely to not enjoy it if you fucking try and like poke them and rustle them out of their nest or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know how much all this stuff. Listen, I have takes that people don't like. I say that psychology and like these concepts are like now. Listen, I'll upgrade it to a couple steps away from a pseudoscience.
Ooh.
No, MBTI is like not. I don't think it's scientifically grounded or anything. Like, just like a fun personality test. That's why I said like again, astrology for some people, it's not. I think people just do it for fun. It's not actually like based or anything.
So you think Erudite is a fucking fraud? Say it.
Is she really big into MBTI or something, or what?
No. Our friend over here, Wicked Supreme, thinks all psychology is cringe.
Erudite is a fucking fraud.
Hey,
no.
Say it, King. Say it with your chest.
I don't want to get in a meta combo about psychology. I think the process currently employed is like scientific. I understand it's about like collecting statistics and you know whatever, but I don't have a lot of faith in what we can claim to know about like the inner workings, the ones and zeros of how the human mind works, and you know the psyche and shit like that. But but I'm also like super uneducated on it, so stand
I feel
alone
like
a lot.
you'd prefer sociology than Wicked Supreme.
Sociology, more like sociology.
I mean, sociology relies on a lot of psychology, right?
The theories are like kind of intertwined, but the actual results in the study and the research is all quantitatively analyzed.
Wow.
So it's all evidence based. It's not.
Yeah, no, psychology is the same way, like in modernity right now. I understand. That's why I say I don't call it a pseudoscience. I think it's a few very important steps away from being a pseudoscience.
Yeah, sociology is looking more at behavior though, right? So like in mass groups, so it's more what's transferable.
I'm aware. I've studied some sociology. But yeah, I would say that psychology is a huge component of sociology. Yeah, I don't know. Behavioral econ is cool too, but that's also like psychology, right? I think these topics are really cool and they need to happen. Like, listen, I'm like fucking doing all these disclaimers.
Yeah,
listen,
cringe.
I think psychology is worthwhile. I think we need to do it. I think it's the process we have now are the best that we have. I don't think they're bad. There we go.
I think the layman's interaction with them is not great.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Is this actually?
Hey, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. What's up? How you doing, buddy?
Sing it to him. He likes that.
Don't, or I'll leave.
What? Sing it?
No.
Happy birthday
to...
You can't handle a song?
Nope.
No singing.
Well, how's life in Yayland?
We could talk about that. I don't know how much I could talk about it right now, but why'd you dye your hair blue, Destiny?
I did like a charity drive a long time ago, and I promised him I'd do it. So 3 years later, I finally did it. Now I get to be the screaming SJW everybody thinks I am.
Yeah, you really embodied the blue-haired SJW feminist look. I'm proud of you. But you've been getting in a lot of trouble. I know it's your birthday, and my chat wanted to come here and start debating, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I see you're getting in heat. You don't want to talk about it, right?
I'll talk about anything you want. I'm good.
So you're taking the WL. They're saying in my chat that you're taking the WRL community head on.
No, so what happened was I made like a random comment on my stream.
I saw it. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was like, it seems like there's like Black Zoomer. I think I said like there's like a legion of Black Zoomer streamer content streamers that like stream. I said something like that. It was like a random throwaway comment, like a 10-hour fucking stream, and people heard that and they thought it was like writing off like the whole WL community. So there was like that for a few days. It was interesting, but I mean, I don't think it was a big deal. It blew over in like a day. It was just dumb shit.
Yeah, I thought it was bad, but then now they're calling you racist, and I was saying in my chat how you're probably the same level of racist as Nick Fuentes, but you just have different demographics. But it comes from the same place, right? Are you any more racist than him, or does he just have different talking points than you?
Fuentes is way more racist than me, but that's cute that you would think that.
Oh, it's cute. You're gonna really patronize me right now on your birthday.
If you're gonna say that I'm a symbol of racist as a fucking like white nationalist, yeah, I am gonna say.
Hey, he's a Christian nationalist. He's not a white nationalist.
Really? Hey, write down this question next time. If he could have 10 million black Catholics come into this country or 10 million atheist Swedes, what would he choose? Ask that question, okay? It always seems to stumble these guys up that say they value religion so much, but Just ask him. You can do it private. You can do it off stream. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I gotta be careful about stuff like that right now. Did you see us? Did you see him get attacked in the In-N-Out with the ketchup?
Oh, that was savage. I'm surprised he survived.
You know that was one of your people. That was a DGGer who recorded that.
It was it. Hold on. Yeah, it was DGG that recorded it. I don't think it was a DGG that attacked him.
No, it wasn't. They clearly didn't know. But you guys, you're everywhere. But your clan is very quiet. They're in the cut. They're always filming, not speaking. They're very. I don't even notice them, but I just see on Reddit they're just like taking pictures and recording from a distance.
Yeah, you know, that's what we do. Yeah.
What did you do for your birthday?
Call.
You're looking at it.
Yeah, signed a new lease for an apartment. I'm moving to South Beach soon. That'll be fun.
Why South Beach? You make fun of Brickle for saying it's materialistic, and you're going to South Beach.
I mean, I'm living in Miami, so we're all about that materialistic life. But Melina likes South Beach a lot more, so she likes the actual beach. The problem with Little Havana is it's probably like a 20 or 30 minute walk to any beach, so you've got to Uber everywhere, and there's like nothing we can walk to here, so fuck it.
Yeah, your chat saying the war on his soul is lost.
It's all right. You'll come swinging back someday.
Hey, I was talking about this earlier. You know, the CDC is recommending, and Fauci's saying you need to get vaccinated right before the holidays so you can spend ample time with your family. And LA and New York are both saying they should get masked up again. In our first debate or something like that, I asked you a question. I remember, would you put on a mask? Like, why do you determine whether you wear a mask or not? And you said, if the government tells me to do it, then I'll do it. Are you wearing a mask again? Because the CDC is recommending it.
You know what? I should have for my event, but if they recommend it, if there's like some guidelines or whatever, there's some like rule in place, yeah, I'd follow it.
Are you gonna get another booster shot that Fauci's recommending?
Yeah, I was going to recently, but I just got sick, so I haven't yet. But yeah, there's like a bivariate one I'll probably get. I know how much that triggers you, but.
Did you watch Died Suddenly yet?
Nope. Was that the one about the vaccines killing all these people somehow?
Yeah, you said you were gonna watch it. You gotta watch. It's on Rumble. It's like an hour long.
I'll check it out when I get a chance. Okay.
You always have a chance. You game for 10 hours a day. You can't watch a documentary.
I have to beat this mod. You don't understand. Okay. There's a lot going on here.
All right, have fun. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, have fun. Be careful, bud.
All right, don't say anything racist.
Okay. Try not to destroy your life. Be careful. Okay.
All right, blue hair.
Listen, you might call me blue hair, but at least I'm not saying white power, right?
How exciting to learn that you're just as based as Fuentes, apparently.
Yeah, true, apparently.
Based off a 10-second clip, I suppose. Were you really? I was surprised that it went viral, but were you genuinely surprised from like the backlash that you got?
I don't know. It's hard to be surprised because like anything can happen, right? Like any random clip or thing that I say or do could go, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like it feels ridiculous sometimes, but I mean, it is what it is.
No, I mean like the reaction from the specific creators themselves, like Kai and stuff. Did that surprise you?
Again, I mean, like people are sensitive. Like people do what they do. I don't know. It's hard for like anything to surprise me these days on the internet. People are just people. Fuck it.
Everyone reacted exactly how I thought they would. I wasn't surprised that they were like saying you're racist, even though it was like a short clip and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Based.
I mean, if you're making the observation that you think that they have like particularly excited, like I don't know, use of like loud reactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would their reaction to that clip be any different than that characterization?
Well, if my characterization was wrong, then shouldn't it be different? Psych, just kidding.
Yeah, just a joke.
Wow, Dylan, what's up?
Hi, I heard you're racist now.
No, everybody got over this. You guys are getting to this so late. Everybody else has moved on. We're all chill now.
Yeah,
Kai's boxing me on his stream. Okay, it's all good memes now. Okay, how are you doing? Are you in where are you at right now?
I'm still in Maryland. I got back. I just wanted to call in to wish you happy birthday. That's all, man.
Oh, thanks. Oh, bivalent. My bad. Well, cool. How's when are you going back to the Ukraines?
Probably late January, early February. I want to go while it's still cold because I want to see if I can do a quick segment on wintertime in a country with no heat.
Damn. By the time you get there, they might all have heat again. So.
Exactly. I'm gonna be the only person disappointed, but I'm gonna be happy, of course, for them. Awesome. Well, you have a good one. Happy birthday. Have a good stream. See you later.
Have fun. Be careful.
Bye-bye.
You're right that all the streamers are dropping it at the very end to tell you happy birthday.
Yeah, that's how it goes, you know.